I think the reason why it's hard for anyone to attach him to any American agency is because he isn't a part of any American agency. I have reason to believe that he is Mossad, Israeli intelligence background.
Leonardo is a brilliant actor. He's wonderful. I've been a fan of his work, but the truth is the reason why he plays such a good villain is because he's had plenty of practice in real life.
Yeah. Have you ever talked with Oprah?
No, I don't talk to the devil. I have ties to her in certain ways. I actually have family members that have done business with her, but yeah, no, I've known what she was all along.
Jag Queen has been spilling the tea on the Diddy drama nonstop, and it seems like she's just getting started. With Homeland Security tightening up borders to keep Diddy's crew close, some celebrities have already taken off in their luxury private planes. The jig is up, and it looks like Jag is the only one who truly knows what's really going on.
You know, the thing that bothers me most when it comes to Oprah is the way she went after Michael Jackson. That was in really poor taste. And then when you look at the fact that Diddy was sharing security with Michael Jackson, and then when you look at the fact that Janet Jackson was being harassed and subliminally gaslit for years, trying to force her into the fold and Michael standing in the way, and then the whole situation with the Backstreet Boys and Aaron Carter, and all of these intersections keep intersecting back to nothing but and Oprah's involved in all of it.
Jaguar Wright, who has made it her mission to expose Hollywood's darkest secrets, isn't holding back when it comes to Oprah. She boldly accused Oprah of being involved in a scandal tied to South Africa, adding her name to a growing list of high-profile figures facing serious allegations. This explosive claim came shortly after reports surfaced of the FBI allegedly raiding Diddy's mansions in Miami and LA. Rumor has it that Oprah's property was searched as well. Wright also called out Oprah's rumored connections to Michael Jackson, Monique, and other controversial figures, asserting that there's a clear pattern of exploitation and deceit.
The thing that everyone has been asking me to ask you about is one woman in particular who's been surrounded by some rumors. And I wanted you, if you could possibly, as best you can, do you know what I'm saying, talk about her involvement with any of this, if any. And that woman is Oprah. And a lot of people seem to be almost calling Oprah out as somebody who's, passing the torch to a younger, singer, shall we say. We won't necessarily go into too many names. But where do you stand with Oprah and her involvement with Diddy, the cabal, all of this? Is she a central point within all of this?
Well, I want to see if I can pull something up right quick.
All right, yeah, go for it.
So I can see
That's
if I
right.
can for that. Absolutely.
Well, I'll just add an allegedly to Ron's question.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm still with don't fuck with her because that's a little too much. But wait a second. But if she's being transparent and if she's telling the truth, then what do you need? How are we supposed to just?
Well, the very same people that are saying don't they're saying that because they can't. So you got to understand there's an added bonus that a lot of people ain't looking at. I'm more talented than every last one of those.
Okay. Listen,
and if I actually try to make all of that bullshit disgusted work, I would have been better at it than all of them, and they know that. See, the people that are happy being quiet are the people that are praying I never get a shot because they'll disappear. No different than when Chris Brown gets on stage with any other male performer, they disappear. Real life. That's what I do.
But we are run by mediocrity.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No one wants to compete with real talent. And guess what? Real talent gets a real say. And look at all of the people with real talent that just went.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
I
they will try.
why.
They will try. People think that it's as clear cut. It's like, oh, there's some white man, like in the Billie Holiday story, there's some white man with a needle with some drugs.
No, it's not that.
No, it's done through our people. It's done through our people, and it's very strategic in
And
the way
elegant.
that it's done.
It's a very elegant design.
Yes, and it's an upper echelon where you come, where it's like, oh, try this, try that, try this, like going to parties. Oh, there's rolled blunts being passed around as cocktail as if it's hors d'oeuvres, but you don't know what's in those blunts.
That's why they called me a narc back in the day when I used to go.
Okay.
I wonder who that was.
Listen, don't Facebook mum post me with you give me half a post just so I can follow up with a tell me please, because you got me on the cliffhanger here. Yeah.
That was a member of the cast of Empire.
Okay.
He had some very interesting things to say about that woman you just asked me about.
Oh, hey, goddamn, all right. Okay, we're taking the long road to the answer. I appreciate it. Okay, we're building the stage. I like it. We're Tolkien in this. All right. So
That's the first time anybody's heard that.
There we go. Exclusive. If the channel is gone tomorrow, everyone, you will know why. Some things are too exclusive. But can you elaborate a little bit more on it? Because it's just...
Oprah Winfrey has been tied to so many awful people.
Yeah.
And the things that she's done throughout the years have only been in service to certain people. She called herself a friend to Luther Vandross, and the way she exploited him at the end of his life. But she's also friends with Clive Davis. Clive Davis was managing Luther Vandross, just like he managed Janis Joplin, just like he managed Whitney Houston. You know, Oprah, when she first did that hit piece on Monique, it was terrible. And then to watch the way Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry created an alliance that has done nothing but keep African American artists working for bottom pay and bottom tier while still putting out Oscar-winning and award-winning content.
Yeah, I think...
She's the devil.
Well, there we go. Okay, because that's kind of where we were all at with it. And
that young man that I was speaking to actually referred to her later in that conversation as the Black Ghislaine Maxwell.
Trend of celebrities leaving America seems to be linked to Trump's potential re-election. Just look at Oprah Winfrey, J.Lo, and others who were practically begging for Kamala Harris' victory, as if their futures depended on it. With Trump promising to release the so-called Diddy files, it's likely that these Hollywood icons will play a major role in the revelations. While Oprah claimed her endorsement of Harris was rooted in genuine admiration, insiders suggest she was actually paid a staggering $1.5 million for her public support.
Oprah Winfrey was paid to endorse Kamala Harris, a report has revealed. The Washington Examiner found the Harris campaign paid $1.5 million to Miss Winfrey's Harpo Productions on October 15. The payment came after the talk show star hosted a town hall for Harris in September. Miss Winfrey also appeared at the final Democrat rally a day before the US election.
Oprah Winfrey comes out yesterday. And here's what she said. Oprah Winfrey comes out yesterday and says the following thing yesterday. Rob, if you got the clip, folks, you got to see this. Because after you watch this, I'm going to show you a different clip of what Oprah said. But go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
We don't get to sit.
Raise the audio.
Out. If we don't show up tomorrow,
listen,
it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. And
by the way, this is the same person that said this to Trump nearly 40 years ago. Go ahead, Rob.
This sounds like
political presidential talk to me. And I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, but you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience was, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
By the way, you know what's funny? Do you know the story is that at that time, it was supposed to be Trump running for office with Oprah Winfrey as his VP? Really? That's kind of how the story was about. And how do you go from that, being a good friend, to saying if he gets elected?
But wait, there's more. Oprah's long-standing ties to Harvey Weinstein, the king of Hollywood scandals, are once again making headlines despite her efforts to distance herself from him. Old photos and videos of their seemingly cozy relationship are resurfacing, raising serious questions about the extent of their connection and what it might reveal.
Oprah is now being criticized for her speech that night by a very unlikely star.
Me too.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially young starry-eyed actresses. My bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a assault survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein too.
How are you?
I am here.
Today on Ellen, Oprah was busy dealing with the aftermath of a natural disaster.
The neighbors out back, their houses are gone.
The celeb neighbors FaceTimed as Winfrey showed the devastation and rescue efforts after deadly mudslides hit their Montecito, California enclave.
We're going to do what great Americans do all the time. We're going to help each other.
Yes.
We're going to help each other out.
Yes, we are.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud, too.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said wasn't really inappropriate.
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said to her was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes.
It's terrible. I'm just
terrible.
sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
Pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I do think it's going to change.
Being a victim of child abuse, that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah.
So,
and you've been speaking about it for
years.
And guess who else made a swift exit after Trump's election results hit the headlines? The queen of daytime herself, Ellen DeGeneres. Her PR team might try to spin it as her being unhappy with the outcome, but many are calling BS. If that were the case, why didn't she leave in 2016? Let's be real. This time, her connection to Diddy is way too obvious to ignore.
It's happening, guys. Celebrities are starting to leave the US. Ellen DeGeneres is reportedly leaving the US, headed to the UK after the Trump win. Why didn't she do that in 2016? That's my question. A lot of people are speculating that she's using this Trump win as an excuse to leave the country, when in reality, she's trying to get away because of the Diddy situation. Ellen DeGeneres was one of Diddy's super close friends. She's had her on her show many times. And even Elon Musk knows that it's very fishy that she's leaving the country, because he just tweeted this. The GOAT, Elon Musk, says it like it is. He is sharing this wide conspiracy that Ellen DeGeneres is actually leaving the country because the government is onto her with how close she is to Diddy. And if she's in the UK, they can't reach her. This is how her tweet went that Elon shared. Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, or as I call him, Cuddle McNuggle Stuff. You don't need to know why. Very odd.
Reason? Ellen reportedly told friends Donald Trump's re-election prompted her to, quote, get the hell out of the U.S. She was, however, house hunting pre-election in October before settling on a home she loved in the UK's Cotswolds region.
You know, some of you could be thinking, let's see how this goes.
So why this part of England? Well, the village, about 100 miles outside London, is a celeb hotspot.
Islands in the city.
The Beckhams are locals.
Where's the other or?
The couple brought the farmhouse turned mansion in 2016 for about $6 million. Kate Moss lives in the area.
And now I love high tea.
Taylor and Travis reportedly stayed near the Beckhams during the UK leg of her Eras tour. Another plus, Ellen doesn't need to stay in the U.S. to work. In fact, with an estimated net worth of more than $450 million, she doesn't have to work at all.
We all remember the toxic workplace drama surrounding the Ellen DeGeneres show, right? Her ex-producer didn't hold back during the 2020 PR nightmare and spilled all the behind-the-scenes dirt, revealing just how messy things really were behind closed doors.
On camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says, despite Ellen's Queen of Nice reputation, it became clear early on that it would not be a pleasant place to work. One incident with executive producer Ed Glavin left her shaken.
We were in our production meetings, and she would watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed, and she would laugh, because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed, and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog. So therefore, she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog, that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing. As a host. But as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see in front of the camera.
Do you think anything will change?
No, because she should have apologized 16 years ago. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
On Monday, the staff of The Ellen Show returned to work remotely after several weeks of summer hiatus. They're gearing up for the start of the 18th season in September. So the show will go on, and executives are assuring employees that Ellen will continue as host. Today, pop star Katy Perry became the first big name to rally around the embattled TV talk show host. I know I can't speak for anyone else's experiences besides my own, but I want to acknowledge that I have only ever had positive takeaways from my time with Ellen. I think we all have witnessed the light and continual fight for equality that she has brought to the world through her platform for decades. Comedian Kevin Hart added his support, writing on Instagram, "I have known Ellen for years, and I can honestly say that she's one of the dopest people on the planet. She has treated my family and my team with love and respect from day one. Love you for life, Ellen."
It's hard not to wonder, does Ellen like Ghislaine Maxwell? Does she have skeletons hidden in her closet? Maxwell's already locked up, but when will Ellen face her? The Diddy drama might just be the key to connecting all the dots.
Ellen, as of course, there was many allegations against her and her show and her producers. Ex-staff said pretty terrible things about what was allegedly going on behind the scenes on the Ellen DeGeneres show, which was looked at as this happy, beautiful, life-changing show. So that all went down several years ago. As we know, the show ended a couple of years closer to now, and she has been so under the radar up until recently when she released a Netflix special. She's kind of calling it towards the end of her career. She's saying this is kind of like her last hurrah. She did address being quote unquote canceled in the special, and she has been on a little bit of a comedy tour the past year. But she has been laying very low over the past couple of years, which is kind of ironic that this is all resurfacing. She has not spoken out about Diddy. I can't imagine she would. I can't imagine most of these celebrities will. People that have been associated with him, such as Usher, Jennifer Lopez, Justin Bieber, of course. I can't imagine any of these people will speak up, A, because they could have been involved in something, and B, in the case of Justin Bieber, potentially there could have been instances where some of these celebrities were victims in some aspect. So I can't imagine any of these celebrities are going to speak up, and as of now, Ellen hasn't, and I don't see her doing so.
Another name being whispered in the mighty Flea Club is none other than Diddy's closest associate, Jay-Z, with his lawsuit heating up and a judge set to proceed. The big question is how he'll handle the mounting pressure. Will he leave the country entirely to escape the fallout?
And a federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name. But the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
A legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it.
The accuser recently spoke anonymously to a news channel, revealing shocking details about her case. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's team has been working overtime to block her path to justice. But it's starting to look like Jay-Z might have finally hit a roadblock he can't maneuver around. Here's what she had to say.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is in is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and he at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of being chastised by their fans.
Jaguar Wright chimed in as well, getting emotional as she accused Beyoncé, Mary J. Blige, and other divas linked to Jay-Z of being complicit in the billionaire lawsuit mess. According to Wright, these powerful figures are not as innocent as they seem when it comes to the ongoing legal drama surrounding Jay-Z.
So the viewers are asking me to ask you those two questions again, Jag.
All right.
Celebrity B in the new indictment.
The witness.
Yeah. Who do you think that is?
What I will say is this, because I'm not trying to get anybody called by Alex Spiro today. In my opinion, I think it's one of three people. One's name begins with a J, one's name begins with an M, and one's name begins with a B. That's what I think. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mary quite contrary. Because she was down for a lot. She was down for a lot. She would have done anything not to have to go back to Yanka's projects or have to sleep on her friends' couches anymore. She did anything. People keep forgetting about Danny Boy.
Are you talking about
Mary J. Blige?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was just going to say, you're talking about the Mary J, right? Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She was in her mid-20s when Danny Boy was 15 years old, when she first started getting involved with him intimately. And allegedly, her, Diddy, and Danny Boy have had some fun together. And they were flying him from California to New York. Regardless if he was signed to Death Row Records. They flew an underage young man from LA to New York, all the way across the country, for the purposes of fornication.
Another massive name on Jag's hit list is Leonardo DiCaprio. If you're wondering what Leo has to do with Diddy, just look back at that old interview. The connection might not be obvious at first, but when you dig deeper, there's more to their relationship than meets the eye.
Leonardo is a brilliant actor. He's wonderful. I've been a fan of his work, but the truth is the reason why he plays such a good villain is because he's had plenty of practice in real life. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with his very unconventional mentoring relationship with Jack Nicholson. Or, I mean, the truth is Diddy parties were happening before Diddy. They used to be called Playboy parties.
That's starting to come out as well. All right, Kevin Hart, hero or villain?
Chump.
Chump. So bad.
He's a chump and he's a slut. And he's a shame. He's almost as big a shame in Philadelphia as Will Smith.
He was going to be on my list. So Will Smith, both of them. You're not fans.
What he's done to children. What he's done to children, and he was allowed to get away with it.
Wait, which one are we talking about? Allegedly.
Will Smith. Ain't no crime in being fondled by a big man if that's what you want, Kevin. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why I was upset with that transgender person when she was trying to blackmail him for $250K because she said he was caught with a woman, and I'm like, well, that's nothing juicy. Why don't you ask him about some of his trips down to Catalina with Will Smith?
Are you Team Jada then? Because a lot of people, I haven't been a fan of Jada.
She's an accomplice. She's one of those weird. She's no different than that Gabrielle Union.
You don't think she's pulling the strings on Will?
Oh, I know she's pulling the strings on Will. I just wish everybody would finally admit that this is a witch's coven that's gone off the rails. These are witches.
All right, I got another one for you. Harry and Meghan. You've teased them. Did you see him on tapes or something? I don't know. Someone said, my friend Steph the Alternate wanted me to ask. She covers the royals. I do too.
They've been involved in some interesting parties, allegedly.
The couple, Meghan and Harry?
Yeah. In Ibiza. They had some fun.
Allegedly. This is allegedly. Wow.
But, I was surprised when they moved to the United States and they moved into Tyler Perry's house. And then they became very friendly with Oprah.
Well, I'm going to go there. But before we get there, they're moving to Lisbon now. They just moved to Portugal. They just bought a house out there, these two.
That could be lovely for them. And I think they should. I mean, the truth is when I look at the two of them, I like their love story together. I like what they're building together. But they're both victims. They're victims.
We'll have to fight on that another day.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll bring you on the Palace channel. I'll make sure you know everything about that.
I mean,
Harry. They've had some issues, but I think they love to be the victims. They love to be the victims.
You know what? I think they love to be the victims because that's probably the easiest place for them to exist.
Well, that's true. That's true.
They actually are. It's just that everyone makes, the prince and the princess crying and complaining. But people keep forgetting everything that Harry went through and the emotional turmoil he went through after his mother's passing and how it was monetized. And, of the two boys, he has Diana's heart. You can see it in him. And I know if she's alive, if she was still alive, she would love that Meghan.
Oh, now we need to have a fight, Jaguar.
I think she would love Meghan.
Jaguar says that while Leo's a brilliant actor, his ability to play villainous roles so convincingly might not be a coincidence. She suggests there's a darker side to the Oscar-winning actor, one that's tied to the Hollywood elite. Here's what she had to say about Leo and the other celebrities she's putting on blast. The Leo-Diddy connection runs deeper than just party invites. Rumors about Diddy's shady finances, including ties to the 1MDB scandal, are resurfacing, and Leo's name isn't far from the mix.